I'm doing a video today, and it's going to be fast facts, things I've learned while at Sussex. There's 3 categories: beginnings and getting achievement certificate, hiatus, and finishing out my associates. So, let's dive right in. The first fact that I have here is I originally started at Sussex back in September 2009. Yes, that was like 10, 11 years ago, and it's pretty wild that that's when I really started at school. So yes, so that's that. One thing that I've learned for sure during my first semester was to not really date anyone. At the time, I separated from someone, and it was like, it was hard on me. So it was important that I, stay to this lesson that I've learned, is so that way I can just not worry about like relationships right away. I feel like that's always an important thing. Another fast fact, I've changed my majors 5 times over the time of 2010 and 2013. I was originally we'll get into that next, until I decided to get my certificate of achievement in independent film. So yes, I took the opportunity to do that. It was from 2013 to 2015, and that's when I had graduated with that certificate. That was the first time. Okay, I learned that it's okay to figure out what you want in life and never settle for less. I feel like that's an important lesson to learn while at school. Another fast fact is my first major originally was theater arts. I wanted to be a professional actress because I looked up to all these amazing actors and actresses growing up. I was once in a theater production, and I was like, oh my god, I could see myself doing this, So I wanted to really get into that, but, it didn't happen for so many reasons. I learned not to let my high school self be in the way of my college career. I felt that was super important, especially during my issues during my first semester at Sussex in 2009. I felt like that's something I definitely learned about myself, for sure. I was dealing with some really deep personal stuff there. Another fast fact, in 2015, I created a body image film that was accepted into a film festival thanks to my advisor at the time. Yes, I had an amazing advisor that got me the foot in the door in film, which is amazing. I like that. I was into film at the time. And then let's see what else I have here. So yeah, the next thing I want to bring up is I learned that I can accept my flaws, that I am my own person, despite my disability. That's something I don't usually share. This was my inspiration towards my body image documentary that I produced and directed as my final project. Having a disability and, being at school, it was a struggle. That kind of sums up one of the things in my first semester in 2009. So that basically sums that up a little bit, but it really goes back to high school as well. Like I said in my one thing, don't let your high school self get in the way of college career. This was part of the reason. And the whole film just basically answers a lot of questions about everything. I secretly attended a fashion club meeting once during this time, which inspired me that I wanted a fashion career. That's something that I looked up to and appreciated and loved. So yes. And then I was also communications club and film club president from 2014 to 2015. But before that, I was also secretary for the longest time. And secretary to VP to president. What a great timeline. Then we're going to talk about my hiatus. Okay, so after I graduated and received my independent film certification, I took a hiatus from college to work on some life things from 2015 to 2018. So during this time, I was working on a lot of things like getting my own place, but also relationship stuff. I was dealing with that, and I needed to get myself together and just work on a few things that I needed to take care of, but also for my next thing that I'm about to say, in 2017 I was kind of playing around researching and whatever, then all of a sudden I stumbled upon that the college had a fashion design program, and I was like, oh my god, I've been waiting all this time for this. So I decided it took me a year to figure out that passion that I wanted and that I learned if I were to go back to finish my associates is to find a spark. So what I did was in 2018 I decided that I got an internship through Black Bear Film Festival, which is located in Milford, PA, and that led up to a scholarship. So that helped paid for my comeback to college, basically. And my advice about that is that one of the things that I've learned during this time was don't let people tell you how to figure out your life for you. I learned to be starting your own thing. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I've learned for sure. Then for the last category is finishing out my associates. So yes, it's a long time coming, of course. So in 2018, I came back, and it was January 2018. So that's pretty exciting. That's a little fast fact. Okay. One thing that I learned, I grew an appreciation of the arts even more. I rekindled the artists within, but I never thought of college level artwork before. Yes, that's something I've definitely have learned. I also stepped out of my comfort zone and I tried new things. I feel like I needed to do this to stop hiding from myself. I feel like when I was growing up, I was hiding a lot of things, especially my things that I was going through at the time, and it was not that I say they were hard times, but I've definitely learned a lot of things from that, for sure, from those earlier years. So, I feel like I hid a lot at the time, but now that I'm older and wiser, it was time for me to step out of my comfort zone and try new things. That's one of my biggest things. Here's a fast fact. I was able to attend more sports games and attend school events more. I've always held back in my previous years. About that. In my previous years, I was I've always wanted to go to a soccer game. I've always wanted to go to a basketball game, and I've always wanted to be part of those things and go to those events and go to SDA events, but I only went to certain ones and things like that. I really put all my eggs in my basket and tried to be a student, but it was hard during those previous years. So like, so now that I'm, like, around this time, I was able to actually go. So, like, that's, like, one of the biggest things of my life, having to be able to go to a soccer game, and yay, be a part of basketball. That was, like, a great experience for me, I've definitely learned a lot from that. Another fast fact is that I was going to bring back Performing Arts Club until I discovered Comedy Club, in which I was president for 3 semesters, which is really, really cool because it's like, usually when you're president of something, you're not supposed to be for a very, very long time. I did because I wanted to really show that, like, anyone can do anything, like, you can't hold back an office just because I wanted to, like, show that I can be in charge of something. So, yes. So that's what that was. And that was pretty exciting to, like, be part of Comedy Club, even though I wanted Performing Arts Club to exist a little bit. But, it was a struggle. I was like, you know what? I'll do Comedy Club, and that was definitely where it all started for me. And I am super blessed, of course. Another thing, okay, here's something that I've learned, is that it's not to be perfect about my artistic skills, so I can improve my skills more. I wanted to show that, like, I want to improve, so that's always a big thing right there, for sure. Here's a fast fact. I've always loved fashion growing up. I used to watch fashion shows, and I would make, like, these really cool inspiration books. Like, I would, like, put, like, celeb style in, like, I would, like, have all that there. It was really, really cool, and I loved that, of course. So, like, I would make those books and with paper, and I would glue stick them all in, like, this is so cool, I want to get into this. And then, of course, I think one time I was, like, trying to find something, and I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden I stumbled upon, like, a bunch more pictures of, like, fashion. I was like, wait a minute, I was really destined to be part of this world in fashion. So it's kind of interesting because I am a fashion design major. So there you have that. One of the things I've also learned is that I've learned to be myself around people as I let my past guards down and grow as a person more. I was, with everything that happened in my previous years, like, now I'm able to, like, make conversation, like, make new friends, and actually really, really, like, open up more. And I feel like I've done that a lot. And I feel like that's something I've definitely learned about myself. So, which is great. I feel like it's always important to kind of, like, work on yourself while you're at school. Like, that's always, like, an amazing thing. So, yeah. I let my past years, like, I would, like, hide in my music a lot. So because I was, like, always upset about something. So it was, like, I need to step away from my music. I need to actually talk to people. And, I felt like I needed to figure out how to, like, open up a little bit more and really, like, make friends. Because at first I had some friends, and I slowly made friends, but, like, I felt like at the time I was, like, still trying to figure that out, of course. So, how to make new friends. And that was, like, one of the hardest things, especially when you're trying to fit in with everybody, especially at a young age. So, now that I'm, like, older, I feel like I can really talk to people, and I can, like, not feel like I have to hide or run away or whatever. I can actually like talk, which is nice. Because of my own insecurities, I've learned that I'm going to share my experiences through my YouTube channel and show who I really am. Yes, I do, even though I have insecurities of my own, like, I feel like that's something I've learned for sharing my life. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel, so yes, follow me, subscribe, like, check out my videos, I'm always posting something. I'm trying to get myself into it a little bit more. I'm still learning, but, these are some, I have all sorts of different videos. I have stuff from college. I have stuff from just some random ones that I've been doing during this quarantine. So, trying to see the silver lining of YouTube, basically. And then, where am I? Okay. During this time, I've learned how to fit in better with people, even though I'm older than everyone at the school. Like, that's something that I've definitely learned, because I'm older than you think I look. I know I kind of, like, look like I'm maybe, like, 18 or early 20s or in my early teens. I'm actually 29 and I'm going to be turning 30. Pretty wild. So yes, it's like I'm at my age, I feel like I'm definitely one to speak, of course, about being older and fitting in. I feel like, sometimes it takes me a little bit, but I'm definitely have warmed up to a lot of people. And actually just like talking to them and be myself around them, which is nice. I like being that. One thing I've learned in life is about experiences and living them every day instead of waiting for them to come to me. I like to take the opportunity right away. That's definitely something that I've learned at Sussex. I feel like that's a very important one. So everyone take note on that. Fast fact. Since I'm a big sports girl that I grew up around, I took my sports knowledge and became the women's basketball team manager, in which really changed my life. So yes, that is definitely true. I did that for their basketball season that has happened, and we made it to playoffs, but unfortunately, sadly, we lost. But it was a wonderful experience. I love the ladies. They're just amazing. Love them all, But it was great, I really, with everything that I've learned, I feel like I really put my foot in the door on those things, which is great. I know I could make that like maybe a side job or a side hustle. I don't know, but we'll think about that into the future. Maybe I'll get into that. I don't know, but it was fun. Just like being able to inspire and motivate. Like, I feel like that's always been my thing. So it was like definitely a fitting role for me in my life. Okay, another fast fact. I became fast best friends with the international students of everyone that I've met. Like, I definitely became best friends with a lot of people at the school, of course. So, having to meet people that are different than me is like amazing. I love meeting with new people and seeing new people and really like talking to them. you know, I feel like I'm a guy's girl's best friend. Hello. I've always been that way. I learned not to hold back on the things I used to growing up when I did in my early years. I used to hold back a lot of things, like the things that I did or the things that I took time doing when I was in my earlier years. My earlier years were just kind of doing the things that I wanted to do, and I was struggling with that. I've changed my major so many times, so it's I feel like I was going through some kind of identity crisis or something, and also maybe insecure and personal insecurities, of course. Like I said about the body image film and stuff like that had something to do with it too. So yeah, I held back a lot of stuff, and something did happen in my first semester, and I'm not going to explain why here. If anyone wants to know, you can leave a comment below. If I were to give advice to my younger self, I would say it's okay to step out of your comfort zone instead of hiding myself. That's definitely something that I would. And then I also wrote, I feel like I can strike a conversation without pressuring myself to make conversation. It's so easy talking to people now. Now than my earlier years, of course. Yeah, that was true. I feel like I was definitely I just needed to take that time to kind of reflect, and I really needed to give that advice to myself, of course. I was definitely pressuring myself, trying to be who I am, and really fitting in and all that stuff. It was a struggle in my first set of years, but now that I'm older, I feel like I've definitely learned that for sure. Now that I'm about to graduate, the biggest lesson I've learned is to let go of your younger self and see the woman I've become. Definitely, because I definitely grew as a person. I was definitely that insecure, private girl to herself. Some friends, not a lot, I only had a small set of people that I've met and spent time with, and that involves my rock group friends too. So yeah, I spent time with them as well. They're so nice. They're the best. They're the best. So yes, I feel like I definitely let go of my younger self, and now that I'm becoming a woman more, I feel like I could see it for sure that I definitely grew up from my younger years to now. That's definitely something big that's changed. Be your highest self and have that opportunity to inspire people with your passion. Try that again. Be your highest self and have that opportunity to inspire people with your passion in your own life-changing ways. And that is my last advice / thing that I've learned for sure. I've definitely found my passion and career, and that is fashion design. I feel like that's something that I've always had a thing for growing up, and now that I'm into it, I'm really proud of myself and excited to enter this new world. And that is all for my facts and things I've learned. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and sorry if it's a little bit long because there's a lot to cover. in this video. Hope all have a great day, and looking forward to give you a very, very special surprise on Wednesday.